Cool. Okay, so Anissa's dressed up, cosplaying as some biker chick right now.
Yeah, it's true. I even like tucked in my leather pants into my leather shoes.
Got to cut to the wide, but they can't see your whole fit because I just zoomed it in, so they can't see our lower halves as much.
What the hell? You should have told me that because I would have dressed.
That was your idea. You said, I want to zoom it in a little bit so they can't see our feet.
Agree.
Yeah, and so you're trying to show your feet now, and it's not working.
Well, I didn't know. I would.
You have to really hike that up a lot for them to see your boots. There you go. Okay.
Oh, it's a boot.
There we go.
But yeah, I'm cosplayed for the hypothetical slide. Dress for the slide, not the ride.
What the hell are you talking about?
What? Dane, do you know what I'm talking about?
Are you going to go down the slide in your leather shit?
No, that's what they say to like bikers. You dress for the slide, not the ride.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, you leather up
Oh,
because
that's sick. I like that.
yeah,
That's
it
a
protects
cool...
your skin.
I thought you were going to go down a park slide.
Yeah,
get
that's
stuck.
what I was picturing.
Yeah, they're going to get stuck on the slide due to the leather not jiving with the slipperiness.
Yeah.
I would love.
That's exactly what I thought. And I was like, is this like a reference to like the cop sliding down the slide? What?
I honestly think I probably would have been a bike person.
A bike chick?
Yeah, if not for losing one of my coworkers. It was really fucked up, actually. I remember him and his girlfriend got matching crotch rockets, and they were supposed to go out for their like first ride together, but she had to get called in for work, and he didn't, and so he went out on his own, and he did not make it back. So
That's horrendous.
yeah, it was really sad because the truck was making a left merge, and it was right in the blind spot.
I was just like thinking, way to start off the podcast.
Okay, yeah, that's true. But I think it's. Oh, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I just hit the...
I think it's because we're talking about bikes and stuff, and I just think it's always important to talk about the
times it doesn't work out.
Yeah, like it's just be aware of the risk that you're taking when you get on a bike, because it was the truck was merging left, and he was right perfectly in the truck's blind spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it just,
It just, yeah.
Did he die?
Yeah. Yeah, he died. And that, I was like maybe 17. I think I was still a hostess. I was working at Earl's, and she got the news when she was working that day. And I was like, I can't get on a bike.
Yeah.
So, but I think if I hadn't had that experience, I probably would be
more into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
I would have like one of those from Walking Dead bikes.
That makes me wonder. You know how there's like ice road, not ice road, like
Ice road truckers.
Yeah, sort of like that, but just regular truckers, just regular road truckers. Mm-hmm. They have like truck simulator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
European truck simulator. They should have bike simulator so that you can safely ride your bike on the open road.
That would be cool.
That's kind of like the appeal of those games, right? Is just like chilling out and,
Yeah.
and it's like no risk, and also you don't have to like...
I like that. Harley Davidson should make a game. No, they shouldn't, because they'd be like, oh, we're going to lose business.
I do think that would be really cool, though, because it would be one of those zone out, like almost like a cookie clicker-esque.
Yeah. Well, almost like simulating a road trip in some ways as well, because I
Yeah.
love the idea you can do some pit stops
Oh,
at some like
true.
trucker bars and shit.
Oh, and you can talk to people.
Yeah.
And do quests. I think I'm just doing
More,
GTA.
well, I was gonna say more like a Bethesda game, like a Fallout. But all you're doing is
getting
driving
more
around.
complicated.
Okay.
That'd be
Me
sick.
and you will make that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to keep your reputation high, because you risk getting in biker gang related problems.
Mischief. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's what you do. You call Justin, you say, all right, scratch what you got on Pocket Squirrel. We're redesigning the game to be
Ian's
motorcycle simulator.
Biker simulator.
Yeah.
Pocket Squirrel, Ian's game has been in development for like 6 years.
Yes, and it's totally normal. So we should just keep that in mind.
He's very self-conscious about it, though.
Just to let everyone know, the conception of it was originally supposed to be like some dumb Tamagotchi game. And it's like totally...
Yeah.
It's like an RPG now, right?
Yeah, it's been that.
Yeah.
It's been that before. Okay, that was a different version of the game I
Yeah,
played.
we might be in a different era now.
Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, we're in the motorcycle sim era.
And we'll just call it Pocket Rocket instead of Pocket Squirrel.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the only catch is that it's a world of squirrels.
Yeah.
Like it's completely
Yeah, the
like
guy who runs
realistic.
the gas station, big squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And other woodland animals.
Right.
That's cute. I like that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'd like to start this podcast off by saying I got sick as a dog this week.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah, it was literally, well,
The day
the
before.
day before, the night before was the big
Yeah. The big problem.
The big problem.
We're calling it the big problem.
Well, this has happened 3 times in the time that I've known you. Mm-hmm. And it always happens at the same time at night.
They seem like there's a common, what do you call it, connection between all of them. What Anisa's referring to is I will have some sort of like stomach troubles. Something will initiate me vomiting. Mm-hmm. In the past, one other time or earlier in our relationship, it happened after, what did I do? I went on a hike with my friends Rad, Jor, and Clay. Mm-hmm. And I drank like one Moscow Mule and ate like some Mexican food. So it was like a combination of things that we could be like, okay, maybe I was dehydrated. Maybe there was some food poisoning. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was just the alcohol. Maybe it was a combination of all of it. Mm-hmm. But I started vomiting, and no matter what I did, I couldn't really stop the vomiting. It was like intervals every 15, 30 minutes.
That's the crazy thing.
I would be vomiting.
15 minutes.
And if I try to drink a little bit of water, that just like any small amount, it'll come right back up.
Like we were so slow with it.
Mm-hmm.
We even tried recently this last time, like he finished puking. And so the first time this happened, which was like 5 years ago now, he went on a hike in San Diego in the heat with no water. And then he drank alcohol. So when he was puking, I was like, of course you're puking. You're dehydrated. That was like my automatic assumption. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to get him to like slowly sip on Gatorade and just really like take his time. But every single time he would even like, it didn't matter if he had any Gatorade or anything in his stomach, he was still you were still puking.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I was like, okay, well, if you're dehydrated and you're like, you can't keep anything down, like we need to go to the hospital. So us and your parents, we went to the hospital and you got the IV and then everything was fine. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, case of dehydration.
Yeah.
Recently, it happened again, but we were in Australia and the connection was you were drinking again.
Yeah.
And the same thing, it happened at night. You were like, oh, something's wrong. Puke. And then it just never stopped. Mm-hmm. It's like you're on a carousel of puking. I felt so bad. It's because
yeah, I don't know. It's weird for me because I've never been. Anisa has a bit of a puke phobia.
Yeah,
I don't really have much of a puke phobia. I only associate puking with expelling all the things that are making me feel bad, all the things that are giving me tummy trouble. So I'm like, well, if there's a virus in me, I'll just puke that damn suck out. Mm-hmm. I know it's not that simple, but in the past, I've felt better after puking. So I'm, in a lot of ways, I'm eager to do it when my stomach isn't feeling good.
To puke.
At this point, I'm sick and tired of it after my experience.
Well, that was tiring. This last time, so in Australia, I made you drink water because I was like, oh, it's a dehydration thing again because you had been drinking alcohol. Mm-hmm. So I would make you take a small sip every 15 minutes, but then every like 30 minutes you were puking no matter what.
Yeah.
So this time I was like, okay, we're not going to try that again. I wouldn't let you drink water. Mm-hmm. But even with you had nothing in your stomach and you were still...
Yeah, it was
puking.
really bizarre. It still, even though there was nothing in my stomach, it still gave me relief. And it was crazy how exact it was. Mm-hmm. It was, while I was drinking things or attempting to drink things, it was like 15-minute intervals where it was like, oh shit, I gotta go vomit again. Like I can't hold whatever's in my stomach down. Mm-hmm. Even when I didn't have something in my stomach, it was still like every 15 minutes. But that every 15 minutes did slow down to then every 30 minutes.
30 minutes. And then it was like every hour.
Yeah, and it was like, I mean, at that point, every 30 minutes, it was just bile that was coming out.
Yeah, it was really sad.
It was wretched,
I
but
felt really bad.
it did eventually stop. But it was just such a bizarre experience. I wish I understood it. If y'all have experienced anything like this, sound off in the comments. I'll take any insight I can get on it. We looked it up, and there is something called
CVS.
cyclical vomiting syndrome. But yeah, it seems like. Oh, and then someone had mentioned to you their friend or something.
Yes,
has
has
it.
CVS,
Yeah.
weed-induced CVS.
Yeah.
So, I mean, could be IBS related as
Mm-hmm.
well. It seems like your stomach's like super unhappy. We're going to a gastro doctor for sure now
Mm-hmm.
because the first time it happened, I was like, okay, it's probably dehydration. The second time it happened, I was like, man, you might be allergic to alcohol or like you weren't responding well to the alcohol.
Yeah.
This time,
We're pretty certain because I wasn't drinking anything.
no, you weren't drinking any alcohol. I think alcohol might make it worse,
Yeah.
but I also think like the burping is back.
Mm-hmm.
And you haven't had that burping for a long time.
Yeah.
So the burping being back makes me feel like your stomach's pissed off. Like
Totally.
something's not right. So I don't know. They'll probably stick something up your butt or something and look around. I don't know.
Yeah, a
Cool.
lot of
I'm
people who watch your old videos probably remember how much you used to burp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you used to joke about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a period for a while where I did think it was just like a little bit more of a decision where I'm like, oh, I'm like doing this as I think
bit.
maybe I convinced myself it was a bit. But yeah, I shouldn't have that much fucking gas buildup.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been many years, especially when I was doing the boxing training. There's no time to like, eat bad food
Yeah.
or, unclean food.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It seems like
So the
it's
one thing,
it's got to be diet related to some extent.
yeah, and something that I noticed, and this is just like my theory, all 3 times there was beans related. Mexican
was
food.
beans related.
It was bean related.
It was
yeah.
bean related. Mexican food. With Chad Max, you had a vegetarian burger.
I actually
probably
don't know if it
beans.
was a vegan burger.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
Okay, can't confirm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
suspicious
confirm.
bean.
So it could have been bean patty, could have not been bean patty. And then this one, which was the most violent one, I would say, like, I made a white bean confit.
Well, I will say what I had been eating when we were in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
They give you on the big breakfast plate that I always
Beans.
got. They give you beans.
Beans.
I'd eat those beans. So it could be the beans.
Could be the bean.
Yeah.
Beans.
I don't know, man. Those beans.
Evil beans. Well, like, and because of the Blue Zone thing and like wanting to eat healthier, I've been using beans more often. So,
Yeah. Well, stop.
aye.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm good now. It took about 2 days to recover.
Yeah, fully. Well, you stopped puking at around, so you started puking at 10 p.m. And you stopped at 6 a.m. was your last
Puke.
puke.
This
which was
morning?
sad. No,
Last morning.
last morning. And he just had pressure, so he didn't want to eat because he had pressure in his stomach. So I was trying to feed him some plain rice, some chicken noodle.
Yeah. But let us know in the comments if you have any fucking insight on this, because
Diagnose
I'm
him.
genuine. Yeah, I'll take a rando's diagnosis.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I have a lot of anxiety, and I talked about this on the H3 podcast. Colon cancer, really high, showing up a lot in 20 to 40
colorectal cancer.
Yeah, colon cancer, stomach cancer, all of that shit is showing up. They estimate in the future it's going to be 1 in 43 people are going to be diagnosed
Makes
with-
sense.
with colon or stomach cancer.
Yeah,
Well, I'm one of the 42.
Nice.
true.
I'll never get it.
They're not me.
Well, I will say they say it's the link is when you're eating a lot of red meat without the addition of vegetables.
That's part of it, but also is just a lot of processed food, like inconsistent bowel
Right.
movements, especially like like a lot
It's
of
not going
constipation.
to be
And
as cute advocating for, colon rectal cancer as breast cancer.
no, but I did. Oh, that's true. Well, little peaches everywhere. I think it's as cute.
Well, it's not your it's not your ass.
Yeah,
it's your
but
colon.
it's not. Yeah, but people get it.
They'll get there.
Yeah.
Alright.
Fun fact that I learned from a gastro doctor: if you are young and you are worried that you have colon cancer, for example, if you tell your doctor that you have blood in your stool, it's almost a guaranteed colonoscopy, even if you're young. So if you want a colonoscopy, you want to get checked out. Maybe you've had a lot of constipation lately, bleeding in your stool, whatever. Just tell them you got bleeding in your stool. They'll fucking shove a camera
I
out
love that little life hack. How to get a colonoscopy
Colonoscopy.
life hack.
there. Like
Yeah.
be pre-40.
They're denying it to you. They're
Yeah,
like, you
yeah.
don't need it. You're too
No,
young.
apparently it is. That does happen a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
There was someone who's
Well, they
recently.
just do it based on the numbers. They're like, it's so unlikely
Yes.
being 20 or whatever
Yeah.
for you to have that. Yeah.
There was a 22-year-old who he said he's got stage 3 colon cancer, and he said getting the diagnosis is harder than what he's dealing with now.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
tell him you got poopy poops. Or
Sounds like colon cancer is easy then.
not poopy poops, bloody poops.
Bloody
Yeah.
poops. Yeah.
Okay, so now that I've divulged that, I want to talk about, I want to ombuds. So we got some comments from the last episode. First of which, I'm a winner of one of those chocolate milk mooing cartons.
Nice.
It was a little machine on the inside that made it sounds, but I don't remember there being a bag of water at the bottom. The prize was not money, but a DVD of Journey to the Center of the Earth with Brendan Fraser,
Oh my god!
which is cool.
DVD, damn.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Must have been a mini DVD.
Yeah.
No. I think. Oh, is it in there?
No, I don't think so.
I think you have
it was
to like
probably
turn
a
it
coupon
in.
type thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Take it to your local Best Buy.
Yeah, I was going to say, how'd they fit that in there?
And Dane ended up figuring this out while he was editing the podcast, I think. But
Yep.
the song from Joaquin, the final song they were trying to figure out was Another Day in Paradise by Phil Collins. I still don't think that was the song.
It actually made me
they
so
didn't-
fucking mad.
Yeah.
We were
mean?
sitting on the couch, and Ian was like, "That's not the song."
Huh?
And I'm like, "What?" And I even sang the lyrics while he was singing. I sang the lyrics in English, and Ian's like, "I don't hear it."
Yeah.
What?
It is 1,000% that
a
song.
million
All right.
percent.
Okay, so let me just add a little bit of context to this. Y'all are saying like it's 1,000% that song. It could be.
What the fuck?
It absolutely
I can't
could be.
believe I'm married to
Okay,
this
let
guy.
me rephrase it.
What do you
It
mean?
is. It is. All right, whatever. It is the song. The only point I'm making in saying that is that isn't the song that I was envisioning in my head. Because as I was listening to Joaquin sing it, I was like, no, different song. That's a different
It's
song.
like debating a philosophy, bro. What?
It's not. I'm allowed to have the opinion that I was envisioning a
objectively-
different song.
No, and that's fair, but it's objective.
Ah, end it right there. End it right there.
What?
What the fuck more do you have to say? It's my opinion. Were you trying to take that away from me?
I'm gonna Ben Shapiro you. And
No,
say,
you're not.
facts don't care about your feelings, Ian.
Yeah, I'm allowed to say my feelings in addition to acknowledging the facts. The facts it's a Phil Collins song called Another Day in Paradise. I'm also allowed to say that wasn't the song that was in my head.
Okay, no, you're rewording it now though, because literally what you said was, "No, that's not the song," and now you're saying it could
To
be.
me. For me. For me.
Yeah.
That's not the song. Parentheses. For me.
But why did you say it could be? Because it
I set the record straight. I said it is. All right, it is.
I literally was on the couch with him,
I
and
don't want to eviscerate the idea that I have some like my thought, the song that was in my head, because music's very similar. You hear all those fucking things that happen, like on TikTok, where
What
people
the
say, like,
Okay.
"Oh, did you know this song is this song, which is this song, which is this song?"
That's called sampling.
No, it's not just sampling. It's having the same, like, what do you call it?
The same 4 chords.
Yes.
Okay, Ian, I think in the same way that I am face blind, you may be music blind, because there's been times we've heard a band or like an artist and you're like, this sounds like so-and-so. And I'm like, how the fuck does that sound like so-and-so? I can't remember who it was. You said something wild.
Okay, so Stone Temple Pilots, Nirvana, Nickelback, all of them give me the same vibe.
Why is Nickelback in there?
It's
Nickelback's a different genre.
really,
Yeah, it's called butt rock.
but
That's real. I'm not even kidding.
really.
Yeah, people call it butt rock now.
Ian, why
Or like
would
divorced
you,
dad rock or whatever.
I think he threw it in there because I love Nirvana and I hate
Stone Temple Pilots.
Nickelback.
Oh, okay.
No, and I think
Oh,
he wanted.
Soundgarden, that's another one.
Yeah,
I was
they're all,
forgetting
that's
about
all.
Soundgarden.
That's all like grunge or like alternative rock or whatever.
But they all
There we go,
sound
close enough.
different.
Yeah, I could definitely tell you the difference between those bands upon listen.
So like
that's why I'm saying.
the same way that I'm like,
Or that's what
yeah,
she's saying.
White guy with a smile, they're all the same. That's how you're.
White guy with smile.
That's how you are with music.
Right.
Clearly,
Or maybe I see things a little differently than you do.
Oh, you're creative.
Maybe I'm a creative mind.
could you imagine if when we were watching the ad for Deadpool, and I was like, "Why is Jim Carrey playing Deadpool?" And you said to me, "No, that's Ryan Reynolds," and I went, "To you." Like what? You would be like, "What the fuck? What do you mean to me?" If I was like, "It could be," it could be Ryan Reynolds.
That isn't the same.
No, it is. What the fuck? I literally sat there and sang the lyrics.
I'm not gonna say. Listen. I give y'all people the
What do you mean, y'all people?
Yeah. What do you mean, you people?
of I said it. I made, I started off that whole thing by saying, like, it wasn't Phil Collins or whatever, or whatever you had wanted me to correct. I corrected it.
Okay, that it is.
Yes.
Okay. Another day in paradise.
So I'm legit.
Yeah.
No, but then you squeezed in, it could be. And you also said,
No, that's what I'm talking about. The
To
could
you.
be line.
yeah.
Yeah. I corrected that.
Yeah, but there's a streak of defiance in there.
A streak of defiance.
I can see it
Yeah.
and smell it.
It's a little brown shit.
I just don't want you to walk all over my reality.
What the fuck? Actually, when we were first dating, Ian used to do this shit all the time. It was like very important to you, even if you knew that you were wrong. You were like, I need to stay this way, because if I don't, I lose who I am. It's just interesting to see it still.
Oh, yeah. It's
Like,
still there.
yeah.
This is my reality.
Yeah.
Do not squash it.
That's what he does.
Yeah. I have a little bit of that too, where if I find out that I'm wrong, I still want to explain, like, I want to explain my
Why?
case of, like, why I was wrong.
Yeah.
And
No.
then I can be right on why I was wrong,
Oh yeah. I mean, that's fair.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've still been trying to think of what this song is.
What do you mean?
Oh, my God.
I'm so
Even that's triggering to say?
What?
No, I know what he means. He's trying to think of what song he thought it was.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and if I
Maybe you
figured it
thought it
out
was-
and they were similar,
Can I tell you
you
what
have
song?
nothing to say.
Can I tell you what song I thought it was?
Sure.
Fields of Barley.
Well, that doesn't.
Do you know what song that is?
What?
Dane? Da-na-na-na. Or is it Fields of Gold?
Yeah. Oh,
Da-na-na-na-na.
Yeah, Sting.
Da-na-na-na-na. Beyond these fields of
no,
barley.
because if it was that, I would have recognized it.
No, I know, but I think that it kind of maybe sounded like that. Maybe
Yeah.
Maybe.
to him.
It's hard to get. It's hard to get Another Day in Paradise out of my head now that I know it's that.
No, I know, yeah.
So it's kind of like not. It's hard to go back.
I'm trying to just help him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you.
No, I appreciate that. I'm probably not going to get it right now in this moment, but I'll come back to you on it. And if I make any interesting discoveries, you know I'm going to report it.
Okay, then.
Yes.
Glasses emoji. I will report it.
Emoji with like and the buck teeth.
Yeah. You know it will be reported.
All right, next up. I graduated high school in Illinois in 2020, and we had pizza available every day, chocolate milk, and vending machines that had
Okay.
energy drinks.
Okay.
Okay.
A little bit of Dane hate here.
Michelle
No.
Obama didn't reach the middle of America.
Oh, good.
Her clutches were only
Last
on the outside.
bastion of hope.
Yeah.
There were a few people basically just saying, "Hey, we got pizza." I just
Wait, why is that Dane hate?
well, they finished it by saying, "I don't know where Dane gets his info."
Oh, from nowhere, from my brain. Where do you get your info? You have
Dane.
Google in your head?
Dane the Blaine.
Yeah, we're gonna say wrong shit sometimes. Sorry, but I mean, the truth is that Michelle Obama did incentivize a lot of the healthy meals. That
Yeah,
are,
that was the whole point.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean
Whether
that
that's
every
changed
school
now.
simultaneously just
Right.
loses all access to pizza.
Yeah, whether that's different now or not, I have no idea. I've been out of school for like 15 years. I have no idea now. So, but when I was in school, we had candy, we had soda, we had pizza. It was epic.
British person here. We call them strawberries. Red berries are a catch-all term for those freeze-dried berries that can be a mix of all the red berries. All right, so
I
brought
also
in-
would like to apologize. I tweeted this, but I am sorry to the British people that I assumed that you called strawberries red berries.
hey,
Look, that's
she might be
funny.
apologizing, but I'm redacting her apology and saying, "Hey, it's possible. It's possible.
It could be.
Yeah, it could. It actually could be. Like, think about it from an American's perspective, where the only British words we know are super goofy.
Spotted dick.
Spotted dick,
Toad in a hole.
toad in a hole, thousands and hundreds. Maybe that's Australian.
And mess.
An eaten mess. Yeah, figgy pudding. I mean, need I say more?
Whoa, where'd you get that?
Out of his ass.
You just pulled that out.
Yeah. So
Okay.
this right here.
I-
is
I-
red berries.
Yeah.
You can see that it says red berries.
Thanks.
Epic, right?
Yeah.
And when you read the ingredients for this one, this is the American one. It says whole grain wheat,
Yep.
rice,
Yep.
sugar,
Yep.
freeze-dried strawberries.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's like, oh, legally they have to say that because it's a bunch of other berries. No, it just says that. It just
Yeah.
says strawberries.
So, if you look at the rest of the ingredients, there's no mention of the
Cherries,
the
cranberries.
cherries. Yeah.
No other red fruit.
Yeah. However, that being said,
Mm-hmm.
we're not taking away that from the UK or Canada or wherever else they might have this cereal that reads red berries.
Okay, pull one out and show them the little seedy body. The little seedy, dried up
Fruiting
body.
body.
The fruiting body.
Because I'm telling you, where are they putting the cranberries and cherries?
Oh, here's a grand example.
grand-
Holy fuck.
We got the mama load over here.
Bring out your mama. She gonna want to see this.
Yeah, put it. I love those things. Are you telling me? Wait, let me hide my face.
There we go.
Not gonna be able to focus really.
No, that is good. That looks really good. Wow, look at that red berry go.
So that's just a strawberry. They don't have to legally. There's no legal loophole. They literally just
Yeah.
like to call it red berries.
That looks like a strawberry.
It's a strawberry,
Dude,
rehydrated.
did you just suck on it? What happened?
Yeah.
It looks a lot more glistening now.
Well, now it's not focusing because it was focusing on the dryness. Now it can't focus on it no more.
Oh well.
Anyways, the point is, okay, the red berry thing and like skirting around because it's technically not strawberries or whatever the thing is.
Not
The ingredients, the ingredients, that's where it really counts legally. And if they're putting freeze-dried strawberries in the ingredients, that must mean, and you can visually see their strawberries, that must mean they are, in fact, freeze-dried strawberries that for some reason we like to call red berries. And I will say, I did see a comment.
Well, don't say we. That's special case.
Yeah, Kellogg likes to call it that
True.
for
I'm
whatever
sorry.
reason, and
No,
I think
no.
that's the mystery.
Yeah,
Why
Kellogg's
do they call it that?
is weird.
We thought it was a colloquial term at first,
Yeah. No.
and so now what is it?
Maybe
What's
it
the
had
answer?
something to do with the production or accessibility for strawberries in the UK or something.
Well,
so
didn't-
they needed to do a blend, the mixture, and so they needed to legally call it red berries, but then they just brought it over here.
Well, wait, I don't know if you saw the comment
Yeah.
from the French, European French commenter who said that the Kellogg's red berries was a mixture of red berries, and then that is like where it came from. I think that's what
Oh,
I mean, I even said that on the last podcast.
Yeah, I
I
think-
literally read the Reddit post where someone linked the UK ingredient list, and it was just that.
But the American is just legit freeze dried, and they're tasty. Like freeze.
No one's arguing that, babe.
yeah.
No one said that in the comments.
Well,
They're
everyone
like,
in the comments was saying,
disgusting.
yeah, they hated it.
I love that. I just think it's so cool.
Get that bitch off the
I
podcast.
just, well, that one is probably a real comment.
Unrelated.
Yeah.
I just think it's magical that you can freeze dry a strawberry and make it taste way fucking better than when it was fresh. My opinion.
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah. But I will say freeze drying does in some cases, I guess with a lot of things that have like tart qualities, it does just make it more like dense with
Brings out the
flavor.
shug.
Yeah, it brings out the shug.
Oh, while we're on the topic of delicious altered fruits, candied covered grapes. If they're covered in like a hard candy, you can get different flavors like cotton candy flavor and stuff, blue raspberry flavor. I really want some really bad, and I don't know where to get them from. But if anybody who's watching this has ever had candy covered grapes, yay or nay, and where can I get them?
Like a hard coating?
Yeah,
Are they freeze dried grapes
No,
or they're
fresh.
just fresh grapes?
Fresh.
Wait, how do they do that?
I don't know.
I think they
Dash the
just dip
grape.
them in a boiling syrup.
Yeah.
Oh, are they perishable? Like they have to keep them refrigerated? Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. It's like you have to get them pretty fresh. I think you have to like pick them up from some like I think people make them at home and sell them. Like I think there's a lady maybe in Portland.
That's very close.
I feel like I've seen something like that on TikTok, but it wasn't necessarily that. It was just like some sort of drug. Yeah. Like it was grapes and other things, but they were like
You're selling
rubbed in like some sort of like sugary sweet powder that probably had a bunch of THC in it.
What?
Yeah. I saw someone. I don't know. I gotta bring up the TikTok. I'll save it and send it
Okay.
to Dane.
Okay.
So you can play it in one of these. But it looked very interesting.
Yeah, we'll get some of those
Yeah.
and the candy coated ones. The cotton candy covered grapes looked really good. I'm just saying.
All right. So this next comment is a bit ridiculous, but I'm gonna read it anyway.
I'm so scared. Okay.
Don't be scared.
All right. I won't be.
I'm sorry, but Boomer Restaurants (parentheses Applebee's, Chili's, TGI Fridays, Texas Roadhouse) need to close down. They're bottom of the barrel food. You can find a local place that makes the same stuff they do, but better. There's no defending these places ever. Sorry, Dane, but Applebee's hate is warranted. Due to, and to be honest, all of the other places probably do the same. They microwave their food.
Well, I have to say,
Love the pod.
Big fan.
I like the ending a lot.
Can't bet enough, but I will die on this hill.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, if they worked at an establishment, I would be interested because in the Canadian establishments, some of it is like if it's fried, it's frozen and then they refry it or whatever. But like a lot of it is cooked. Like Denny's, I worked at Denny's and like they cook that shit. I mean, the eggs are powdered,
Yeah.
but they still mix it in water and then cook it. Like I mean,
Yeah, it definitely isn't efficient to even be microwaving all of your food that you're serving. Like
Yeah.
that actually would slow shit down a lot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt that they have a microwave for special occasions.
A lot of it is like, maybe, I don't know. I don't care if something delicious is reheated in a skillet for me to eat.
What about a microwave?
I don't care, but it's not. But the efficiency of a microwave versus a skillet, like a
It's
skillet,
also not consistent, the heating in
yes,
a microwave.
a skillet will get you like recrisp things as well, whereas like microwave makes things soggy. So like most of those restaurants probably put in a skillet. And again, maybe this is an unpopular opinion. I don't care.
Yeah.
They do that.
If it works in a microwave, if it's indistinguishable and like guaranteed, you could trick someone like Gordon Ramsay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how the fuck is Gordon Ramsay gonna know if mashed potatoes were like reheated in a microwave versus like baked or something? Like,
think he
or
could
put in the
tell.
oven. I don't think you would. You mix it up nicely so it's thoroughly distributed. How the fuck is he gonna know?
Some people really are sensitive about microwaving shit. And the same way, like, I've kind of accepted this. Like, I'm not sensitive to stale stuff at all, but you are.
Yeah.
Some people are sensitive to microwave stuff, like the sogginess of things or, like, the structure
I
of
don't
things.
think you'd be able to tell on that.
Yes, because, like, there is something scientifically happening that is changing the makeup of things.
I mean, it may depend on the food. I
Probably.
wouldn't suggest, like, I think you'd be able to tell, like, French fries, reheating
Yes.
some French fries versus.
Like, putting in the oven versus putting in the microwave.
Yeah, big deal.
Big deal.
But something like mashed potatoes.
Yeah, because I bet you it probably makes it more like crystallized, like more like broken. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe.
Do you have, like
it's
gritty?
possible. Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe. Well, I wonder if fucking, like, Good Mythical Morning has already done, like, an episode like
Probably.
that testing it. Because I feel like that should be. I mean, they don't have Gordon Ramsay's palate, but.
I wonder. I do wonder though how many of those restaurants are just reheating stuff, and how much of it are they reheating?
I don't think they are. I think that is not giving them enough credit.
Well, it's hard because Earl's.
You can not like the food, but you don't need to say that you don't like the food because they reheat it. You could not like the food because the food sucks ass.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a valid criticism. But I think it's just hard for me because I worked at Denny's and Earl's. So the two places I worked at. Denny's is like diner, fast, quick. Earl's is supposed to be like,
Yeah.
you
A
know,
little more high end.
yeah, it's for middle class people who want to have like a extravagant night. And Earl's, the way that they had it set up was like there was different chefs that they only cooked the pizzas. They only did the steaks. There was like different stations. Whereas like Denny's, there was like two cooks and they were kind of just like going, you know, back and forth and doing whatever on the flat tops. And I mean, they were cooking stuff. I never saw them microwaving anything.
Yeah.
So those
It's
are my
not
only two
efficient
experiences.
to fucking microwave shit. It really isn't.
I haven't worked at TGI Fridays or any of those other ones, so I can't say. But I would be curious, with like chefs, servers out there.
Chefs of Applebee's, sound off. in the
Well,
comments.
I'm sure some of them worked somewhere at some point.
Can I defend myself also because this commenter specifically said
Of course.
my name,
Dang.
dragged my name into this.
In the
And
mud.
I don't even remember what I said, but I'm assuming that I said that Applebee's isn't that bad or something. Is that what I said?
Probably.
Probably.
I mean, that sounds like a Dane thing to say.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, and this isn't why I defend Applebee's, but I do think that saying that like Applebee's and all those kinds of restaurants deserve to be shut down is a classist take. In my opinion.
Oh, true.
Because a lot of those restaurants are some of the only restaurants that like poor people or middle class people can afford to eat at. And just because you're a snob about food, commenter, doesn't mean that they should shut down. That's
Well-
my defense, and I'm sticking to it.
No, I think I agree. Like, you know, for example, Olive Garden, endless breadsticks, endless pasta. You
Yeah.
can like get as many pasta orders for like
Yup.
pretty cheap. But I will say, and I think you're very valid for what you're saying, but Applebee's and some of these other places have like hiked their prices past where most
Right.
lower income and middle class.
I was going to bring that up as well because I would also make that same argument about fast food restaurants. A lot of people complain that it's unhealthy or whatever, but it still remains one of the only places that lower income people can afford to eat at.
Yes.
And their only other option is really to learn how to cook, which a lot of people just don't have the fucking time to do.
Yeah.
Because they're working so hard.
Yeah.
So, but the unfortunate thing about today is that a lot of those places are hiking their prices up so much that they're losing the entire point of that. And that's honestly the worst thing about it.
And why they should shut down.
Well, I don't think it's why they should shut down. I think it's why they should probably reevaluate their business model. Because honestly, I think a lot of those places are going to inadvertently shut down. They're going to go out of business if they don't continue to, fill that niche.
Yeah, I think Panera's going to die.
Oh, yeah.
I will say, Mush Hatch, on your comment, I think Dane, Anisa, and I would actually agree on the point that those are not our preferred places to go and eat. Mm-hmm. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I like eating local.
Like the Applebee's and the
Mom and Pa restaurants.
TGI Fridays.
I don't think any of those places are near me, and I don't have a car. So
Yeah.
that's probably why I haven't gone in a long time. But Denny's, I would throw that into the mix, and we love Denny's.
Yeah.
We love Denny's.
True. I will also say that these chains also offer, I think, in the category of like giving an opportunity for like lower income people to eat something a little fancier or whatever. These places also crop up in areas that
food deserts.
that are food deserts, and they don't have much of anything there. Period.
Here's a great example of that. Us in Tampa.
Yeah.
Or not Tampa. Where were we?
St. Pete.
St. Pete. Well, it was the first Creator Clash, and the cop. We had cops there.
Yeah, that would be
at.
That would be in Tampa.
That was in Tampa, and it was really fascinating. We hired police to be security because we were in the hotel with a bunch of YouTubers, and this one cop was like really excited to talk to Ian, and he was like, "Hey, you guys looking for any places to eat?" And we were thinking like, okay, this is a Tampa local. Like they're gonna give us the skinny. They're gonna tell us like where the local like hole in the wall restaurants are. We were like, sure. And he goes, there's a TGI Fridays down over there. There's an Applebee's over there.
Yeah.
There's but you have to remember that consistency, universally, right? He probably looked at us and he was like, these guys just want a meal that they know, that's familiar, that they're going to want to eat. And they don't want to mess around. So he gave us familiar things.
Yeah.
Because if there's one thing these places do provide, it's predictability.
They're from
comfort,
California. They got
guarantee.
Applebee's over there.
So I do think that's part of it as well, where it's
That's why McDonald's is so successful. I think that a lot of people have said that McDonald's, a big reason why they're so successful is because of the how much they focus on consistency across all chains.
Yeah.
And so whenever you go to a McDonald's,
you know what you're going to get.
You know exactly what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And your story about Tampa also reminded me of Ian, remember when we went to Battle Creek to film Full Force? What were our options in that entire town? The entire town. What were our options?
There was a donut store that closed very early.
Yeah.
And there was a Denny's. That was the only thing open at any time.
That was what we went to most of the time, but there were other restaurants that we could have gone to.
And there was an Applebee's.
There was an Applebee's, and I think there was a steak and shake? Yeah, we went there one day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, there were no high-class restaurants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but even
anywhere.
Just people that are in the middle that are running a restaurant with their husband or with their brother or sister, that it's their food that they're really passionate about. A lot of places don't have enough foot traffic to warrant taking that financial risk.
Yeah.
Those are real food deserts where the only thing that can come in is an Applebee's that knows, okay, if we put a thing here, everyone that's even remotely around will come in pretty often to eat.
Yeah.
And even if it is a bit of a risk,
people know what to expect.
They can take that financial risk.
Yeah.
So, it's important for food desert areas for sure to be able to have things like that. And it does make me sad that they're upping the price because it's like, I don't know, that sucks. But that's the world we live in right now.
Yeah, the consistency argument is super interesting because that is a lot of, weirdly, a lot of comfort for me, especially when I'm away from home.
Stress.
Is knowing that I will always have a Denny's,
Always a
at
Denny's.
my disposal.
Yep.
And they got, all the same food.
The same thing as back home, just like
Yeah.
Mama used to make.
Yeah, it is so important. And like for a while, Anissa and I we were staying up really late, and the only place near us was a Jack in the Box.
Yep.
Because their like way to differentiate was, hey, we're McDonald's is closing early, but Jack in the Box we're open till 6 a.m. We take a 2-hour break between 6 a.m. and
Yeah, they
whatever.
were
It was
always
very
like,
bizarre.
resetting their shit.
Yeah.
What's the point of that 2-hour break? That doesn't make any sense.
I think, yeah, it was. I don't know, but it wasn't a full 24 hours.
Yeah, that's
It was-
interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if they needed to just
Staffing
take a
issue or
stretch or
Right.
what the deal
Air out
was.
the burgers.
Yeah. Someone said the birthday story, referring to my sister's birthday story. Sounds like Pharrell's ice cream parlor to me. They had a pig trough and were into public humiliation.
And we're into public humiliation.
I don't think that was the name of the place, but I still haven't talked to my sister or mother about it,
Damn.
so I'll get confirmation eventually. But it sounds like this place is basically the same thing.
Yeah.
They have a pig trough. They're into public humiliation. Cool. Someone just had a chicken-related question for us.
Yeah.
They said, when you had chickens, did you get them as chicks, started as pullets, or fully grown as laying hens? I've been on the fence for a while and researching pretty heavily, but I'm a little conflicted on what stage to buy chickens at.
Oh, that's
I just
cool.
thought I'd ask some advice from regular people who don't give a weird homesteader answer
Yeah.
on their chicken raising experiences.
I'm sorry. I must have like amnesia or something. When did we talk about that?
We never
didn't.
did, but
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
they just
random.
know that this is how to reach Ian,
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
which I mean is smart.
Yeah.
And it's a fun answer because we kind of happened upon chickens by
Yeah, they were.
serendipitous.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember you had a chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had multiple chickens.
Yeah. Okay.
They came with the house that we bought. So they were adults.
Yeah, they were already adults and they were already laying eggs.
Yep.
All of it was set up. So, I mean, for us, I don't think we have any like too much of a nuanced opinion on it. Obviously, they were good. I think they had been there for a while, so they were already established. But chickens are smart and they're very resilient.
Yeah.
I think so long as they have a good environment and they're comfortable, like they'll lay eggs.
Yeah. I think the big things are that we learned that helped a lot is like set up a running water system for them. Like don't have like still water because like I mean it's annoying to do, but if you do want chickens, like the fresh water running in is good for everyone. And then getting mealworms for them to eat was good for their shell strength, which was kind of cool.
Ian, do you know Woa?
Yeah.
He has chickens, and he's always told me that they're very stupid.
No, they're very smart.
Well, maybe he was joking, but it seems like he brings it up a lot how stupid they are.
In the same way that people call their cats or dogs stupid, I'd probably say, where it's just
he's being a little lovey-dovey about it.
yeah, it's a little bit more like,
There's also stupid things about them.
yeah, there's stupid activities.
Like,
It's like,
when it gets
especially
dark.
when it's contrasted to a human behavior.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. There's a lot of nuanced things about chickens that are very smart, but when it's
Yes.
like, like, I don't know.
I think he was along the lines of saying like he can't get them to fucking like eat things or can't get like
Right.
trying to
That's
trying to get
weird.
them to go places is hard. Like
Very weird.
they're in their own little world or whatever.
right.
I mean, they definitely do what they want to. They're more like cats, where like they're
Maybe that's the thing.
Right, like cats are very smart, but there's the saying herding cats.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Where it's like, that's not an easy thing to do.
and like
Wait, what?
chickens, for example,
Sorry, what's the phrase?
Something about like, it's like herding cats.
like herding cats.
Oh, herding.
yeah, like HE.
not inflicting damage upon
I
cats.
thought you wanted to. I thought you're saying, you know what they say about inflicting damage upon a cat. It's very
No.
difficult because they'll escape.
No, yeah. Herding with a D.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
At night, chickens, as the sun is going down, they get zombie-like. And that's kind of cool. Because it's like, what the
that
heck?
shit is actually super cool. That was, I think, my favorite attribute about the chickens
Yeah.
is like knowing, like there were days where we, take them out of the coop and we'd let them like free roam for the whole day, and you didn't even have to think about it. The chickens, like, as the sun was beginning to set,
They'd all go.
they just like start marching back toward the hen house, and they get in there and they're ready to go.
Yeah.
You just shut the door. It's like, man, these guys, like, I'd call that smart, you know?
Yeah, they're very smart.
But, you do that with a fucking, maybe a dog, maybe it's not going to do that.
no, they're going to roll in their own shit.
Yeah.
Until you call them in.
It'll go fucking tear up a porcupine or
They're
something.
going to bark at the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, chickens are super smart. Recently, a study actually confirmed that chickens are self-aware.
Oh, yeah, tell this meme.
Yeah,
That's
I love
fucking
this
cool.
shit. So, you know how they do that experiment with animals where they put a little bit of dye on their head or face or whatever, and then they show them a mirror, and then they basically decide whether or not they're self-aware on whether or not they like try to touch or take where the paint is off their face. And there's only a few animals that have passed, and it's like monkeys, dolphins, I think elephants. But chickens failed that. A lot of animals have failed that test. So for a long time, scientists were like, well, they're not self-aware because they saw themselves in the mirror and they didn't go, oh, I need to take that off. So recently, they asked the question of maybe we were asking the wrong question all along, or like posing the question wrong. So for chickens, roosters, when there's a predator and there's other chickens with them, other roosters with them, when they see a predator, they will call out to let
sound off.
They'll sound off to let all the other chickens and roosters know that there's a predator. But if they're alone, they won't sound off. They'll stay really quiet and stay still. So they were like, well, if we put a mirror up and have the rooster see himself, right? And we put like a silhouette of a hawk or something, we'll see what he does. Because if he thinks that there's another rooster there, he'll sound off to like let the other rooster know that the hawk is near. But if he doesn't sound off, that means that he knows that that's his reflection. And he didn't sound off. None of the male roosters sounded off when it was just their reflection in the hawk.
That's
when there's
so
other
cool.
chickens, they would. So
Like the difference between mammalian, like smart, and fucking
raptor smart,
raptor smart.
bird smart,
Yeah, it's all different. You
raptor,
can't
but-
judge it in the same way.
but foul.
Foul.
That's how smart they are. They're a mammalian.
I'm a million.
Yeah, you're mammalian smart.
I'm a million times smart.
I'm a million times smarter than you.
But I just think
Our
that's
dogs
so
to
cool.
a fucking chicken.
because they now know that there's probably a lot of animals that they're just asking, are you aware that your reflection is there the wrong way? So they're gonna
Makes a
try
lot of
and
sense.
yeah.
Yeah. You pose that to so many, or all the animals that it was posed to, like all the ones who did the wiping off the. shit.
Oh, what the heck? There's something on my face.
Yeah, it's all mammals. Even if
Yeah.
it's the water mammals, dolphins or whatever else. Like
Yeah.
we already know dolphins are smart like us.
Yeah.
Do you ever do you guys have a bathroom where the mirror, you can look in the mirror while you're like pissing or shitting in the toilet?
Nope.
No.
So you can't physically look in the mirror?
Nope.
Oh man, you should put like a mirror where you can look at yourself on the toilet.
Why?
Cuz
What the fuck, Dave?
Because I think
I'm
that
listening.
I think it's a good lesson in humility because I can see myself in the mirror when I'm shitting or pissing,
Man.
and it's a very compromising position to be in, and I think it's good to be aware of the most vulnerable that you look, so that you can kind of like have that context for whenever you're interacting. It's like, well,
At least I'm not shitting.
at least I'm not shitting. I look a lot better right now than I look like when I'm shitting.
Man,
That's a mirror-related tangent.
yeah,
like
no,
that.
I think we have lived in places where that is, or been in hotels.
I don't know. Well, yeah, I guess
definitely-
you'd need like I can only picture like a full body mirror like being outside of the bathroom, and you like look, you can almost see like profile view of yourself.
Door mirror
shitting.
hanging.
Yeah.
Door mirror.
mirror
Oh,
hanging.
true. Door mirror. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's one for sure.
Yeah, a long door mirror.
Or like the vanity
Man.
is facing the opposite of the toilet.
I feel like that's the most human view.
Somebody shitting.
Yeah, just like exposed on the porcelain toilet. Just
Right.
So
It's
it's so pathetic.
maybe I have like a what I was gonna say. Maybe I have a different like idea of what human means.
Maybe not human. Maybe just vulnerable.
Yeah, vulnerable.
Yeah,
is the
vulnerable.
good
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
I would say sleeping. Sleeping
Is what?
is the most vulnerable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. Sleeping seems so. I don't know.
Peaceful.
Yeah. I just think of peace with that. The toilet is just associated with so much fucking vulnerability. Even my like our dogs, when the dogs are shitting.
Well, they look depressed when they're
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah,
No,
your Rottweiler probably looks the least threatening ever when they're shitting, right?
Well,
Yeah,
the saddest thing is when it's raining and she's shitting and she looks so depressed.
It's fucking funny.
Yeah, you think that dog could
But
never guard me.
I did hear like some sort of bullshit about like your dog like looks at you when it's shitting because it needs to be
Protected.
Yeah,
It's
it's
making
looking
sure
for
that
some
you're.
amount
They're aware that they're in a compromised.
Yeah.
like get my back.
Yeah.
I'm shitting, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep an eye out.
There's
And-
some animals that like they only die when they're shitting, like sloths.
Oh my gosh, that's a fucking cool phrase. Is that like that's an album or
Well,
something?
sloths, they when they go, they have to climb down the tree and go to the
Right.
land to take a shit.
Yeah,
Do they? Why can't they just squirt from above?
I don't think their bodies work that way.
they're too polite.
They should evolve faster.
No,
or
they could never do that because that's rude to drop
Yeah, it's
True.
weird.
down on the
But
floor.
they once a week, I think it's once a week, they climb down the tree and they take a dump, and that's
Man.
when they get. I mean,
I like
also
to think it's a really elaborate process where they go down there, they start slowly like digging a hole, like casually like that. They position to grab a crown of leaves, they put it on their head, and they
it is to me that is the most vulnerable. That is
Yeah.
the symbol of vulnerability is a sloth taking a
Taking a
dump
shit.
on the canopy floor.
Yeah.
Because it's really sad. I mean, of course, like birds of prey, if they're really sharp, they can like see a sloth and grab it out of the tree. But for the most part, you're a little slow sloth. Once a week, you're like, oh, I gotta take a shit, and you're climbing down the tree. You're taking your little dump. You're looking around. You can't look very fast. You're looking the other way while taking a dump, and a big jaguar comes. Like that's so sad.
picturing how fast the sloth is going to be surveying the area.
It's
it would be
sad.
pretty slow.
And the other thing is like flooding.
Yeah.
You've seen the sloths like swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were taking
That's
a dump.
rough. No, valid.
And now they're up shit creek.
Their own shit. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they're swimming in their own shit creek.
Yeah.
What was I going to say about the dogs
Oh, I'm
specifically?
sorry.
No, it's fine.
Oh, dog looking for a lookout.
Yeah, dog looking for a lookout. Yeah, I think that's just another point of how vulnerable it is. I think even us being on the toilet, because I mean, I think about someone like I've talked about this, like my anxiety in a public shitting in a public
Yeah.
restroom, because people are coming in there whistling, you know, high fiving, group hugging, shouting, doing all sorts of shit outside of my own personal zone. Yeah, and I detest it.
I have zero shit anxiety.
Yeah, well, you need to get some.
I love
Have some shame.
shitting.
I love shit.
No, but no women are coming in there. Yeah, they go crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's
They're-
not-
They're
I think
making
it's
it their own
different.
home.
I think it
Well-
might be a different
Culture? Yeah, the
culture
culture
because
is like-
with
yeah.
women, I feel like they're going to be a little bit more respectful. With guys, I think that there is kind of a little bit of a fear of like these guys could
Yeah.
fucking bully me.
I wonder
What
if it's
the
gonna. Yeah,
They,
legit.
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Bathrooms for boys, I think, is a hostile environment,
That's
especially in
exhausting.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like boys' bathroom is not a safe place.
When you're in the girls' bathroom in high school,
It's also not a safe place.
well, because you're scared you're going to hear some horrible shit about yourself. And like,
Oh, see, that's
show
the
that in
difference.
movies. They show that in movies a lot.
Yeah,
I
of,
would be
like,
so
that's-
fine given my current traumas and anxieties, if someone came in the bathroom and was like, "Yeah, that Ian is a piece of shit" or whatever. Like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
But busting down the door with their
Yes.
foot, kicking it in,
Yeah.
and then yanking you off the toilet with your
Pulling
pants
your
down,
penis off.
pulling your penis all clean
Pulling it off.
Pulling it off.
That is a real possibility and threat.
I had there were some girls that would smoke in the bathroom that would come in and fucking stick their foot underneath all the stalls and
Right.
jangle it.
That's
Yeah,
fucked
to
up.
check. Well, to check if they're there. They're not looking for a victim.
They also just kind of like to be a little.
Fucking with people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've also seen plenty of just gross out TikToks where people are doing just kind of nasty prankish things to the person in the stall next to them or whatever, and that has also I think given me some anxiety over the years.
Probably. I think you also just have legit trauma connected to people trying to
Yeah, fuck with me.
fuck with you while you're taking a shit.
True.
I've never had that to that extent.
So this was mainly going to be a discussion of the we're ombudsing, but we've gone from topic to topic.
I know. Sorry.
No, it's not a problem. It's good because I think it's very clearly relevant to the audience. But there was something I wanted to bring up. Last time Dane off camera had mentioned that he has a hot take on planet Earth.
Oh, I remember you saying that.
Oh, the show.
The show Planet Earth, not
Yeah.
the human Earth we're living
The
on.
human Earth.
The human Earth. We're
Oh
living
my
on.
god, the human Earth.
Yeah.
You wanted me to share my hot take about the show?
Yeah. if
Did I
you're-
tell? Wait, did I tell you or not?
No.
Oh, well, my hot take about the show Planet Earth is that in season 1, the British version of the show had David Attenborough, and the American version of the show that went out on Discovery or something had Sigourney Weaver as the narrator. And
Sigourney Weaver's a man?
Sigourney Weaver is a woman.
Okay.
She was an alien
Okay. Yeah.
and others. She's a famous actress.
Yes.
But that was the original version of the show that I saw. I saw that version of the show, and I really liked it because I thought her voice was very well suited to narrating nature. I thought it was actually very nice. She's probably, when it comes to nature documentaries, her version of it, I think, is greatly superior to the David Attenborough version. And then when Planet Earth Season 2 came out, they only had David Attenborough in every version. They didn't record a separate track. I don't know why they had Sigourney Weaver do the American version. Maybe they thought that that Americans want to listen to British people, which might be a little bit true in my case. But I think that David Attenborough, I don't really like listening to him narrate things.
Really?
I think he's just an old fucking man, and I don't want to listen to his raspy, he sounds like he's going to fall over.
Yeah.
I much prefer Sigourney Weaver's voice, and I actually went out of my way to purchase the Blu-ray version with Sigourney Weaver's. It was actually very, very hard to get a hold of because it was only distributed by Discovery, and you couldn't buy it anywhere except from off of their website.
Shit.
What did Oprah Winfrey narrate?
I have no idea.
Didn't Oprah Winfrey narrate one of those nature?
Probably. I don't know. I probably wouldn't like her voice as much, but I'm just saying when it came out on Netflix, that was how a lot of people were reintroduced to it, and they're like, David Attenborough is so awesome. I'm like, you guys listen to the Sigourney Weaver one. It's way better.
Interesting.
I love David Attenborough, but
See, that's why it's a hot take, is that everybody loves David
Right.
Attenborough. I honestly don't really like his voice at all.
I don't
No,
feel
that's
too
fair.
strongly about it, but I do feel like it is now, correct me if I'm wrong, it feels like a bit of a trope to
Yes.
have these old men, ancient men, narrating nature shit or narrating things, period.
Right.
what did
It's because of him, I think, probably.
Yeah, well, and who's the old black guy who...
Morgan Freeman narrated, I think, March of the Penguins.
Right.
he also narrated the religion thing that was very good, by the way. It's a very good show.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's.
I could see why these old men are used for these things. There's a little bit of wisdom imparted via the voice.
And a lot of people have good grandfather and grandmother telling stories,
Right.
ASMR, probably. I don't really have that. My grandma and grandpa are old, and they
that's true.
have old people voices, but they don't sound like them.
Yeah.
They sound like my grandparents, and I think that's different.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I'd be curious to listen to the Sigourney Weaver version because,
Well, I got it on Blu-ray.
yeah, I think I like the idea of even just hearing an old person talk. Well, maybe not an old person, an ancient person.
Me off.
An ancient person. That's the difference. Yeah, for
listening
sure.
to an ancient person talk, there is a little bit of that. All right, come on, speed it up. Let's go.
I think that's TikTok brain.
No, aside from TikTok brain, just hearing the sounds in which they're making is enough.
I wouldn't even say it's the speed. It's mostly just the like they're really struggling to get through words. It's kind of like a big reason why. Well, one of the big reasons why I think casting. Who's the fucking guy that did Darth Vader? James Earl Jones.
Oh,
James
yeah,
Earl
yeah.
Jones. Casting him again for Mufasa was a horrible mistake because in the new Lion King, he's like 91 years old and he's just like Simba. Simba, you're gonna be the new king, and it sounds horrible and it's hilarious. And I think actually, like if you watch Adam's video on it, like it's very clear that there were a few instances where they actually went back and took alternate takes from the original recordings because I think maybe when they recorded his lines, they just did it so poorly. They're like, do we have him saying that in 93 or whenever they recorded it?
Man.
And so I don't know, like. I think that they just get these old people because of David Attenborough does a job that is well liked, and they're like, "What old ancient person can we get?"
Right.
You know.
God.
But
yeah.
I think that they sound bad. I think ancient people they're not nice to listen to. That's my take.
Yeah.
It's maybe a little hot, but I don't care.
That's a little hot. That's a little spicy. I
Yeah.
appreciate that though.
No, yeah. I'm like on the opposite end, so. But it's
Well,
very,
can you elaborate? Yeah, be on the side of the people who disagree with me for
Right.
the audience. Like represent.
Well,
that.
it's hard because some of the theory, like, so my grandparents on both sides passed very early. So I don't have like an association with like, oh, it's like my grandparents talking old, because my grandparents on my mom's side died past, I think my grandmother was like 65-ish. Something like that. And then my grandfather was 74, but he was always kind of spry with it. But I don't know. I just like it. It sounds like a wizard is telling me about his world. It's just comforting to me, and it feels like this guy wouldn't lie to me.
I guess it does help to know that regardless of, like, just knowing that they're old, they have lived some amount of life.
Yeah.
You know? So there is a little bit, it feels a little bit more rich, potentially.
It's like
a little bit more depth of flavor.
like a mezcal.
Yeah.
A little smoky, little intense, but in a
Yeah.
good way.
I don't know if I
Subtle.
can relate to that one.
But I don't know. It's like kind of hard for me to defend because I don't really think about it much. I just like know that I like it.
It's just a vibe. It's kind of like describing exactly why certain like ASMR things get in, some don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's kind of weird because I have a bit of an old person phobia. I won't lie to you, and it comes from probably just some traumas that I have, so I don't know why, but old people voices I like. And
Is there like a deep voiced woman in Hollywood that you guys can reference?
Donna from That 70s Show.
I feel like Donna from That 70s Show. I like narrating a nature documentary.
Why?
I think I like.
Why would
vibe
you need
of
the
it.
deep voice?
Just
It
because
just
it's
feels
different. It's calmer. It's less. I don't want to say the word grating, because people like, I don't know. I just don't need. I don't need that higher pitched quality.
Sure. I mean, Sigourney Weaver, when she narrates Planet Earth, definitely hits into the lower register, but I think
Yeah.
that's just kind of the narrating tone.
Oh, how about that woman who like committed a bunch of fraud with that company?
the science
that
woman.
one? Yeah,
the woman who's like, I like big science and turtlenecks.
yeah. I'm the next Steve Jobs.
I'll
this
tell
is how
you-
deep my voice is.
What we're gonna do? We're gonna have some big tech, and you're gonna invest in my big tech. Is she in jail? What happened to that woman?
I don't know. I'll have to look into
I don't
that.
even know who you're talking about.
Really?
Yeah.
She's just this woman who put on this really deep voice and like swindled a bunch of people out of a bunch of money. Like it was like Ponzi.
I think it was
Scheme?
yeah. a bit Ponzi-ish. I think
Yeah.
it was more so. I think it was actually more so they were just making promises about the technology and about what was happening and the advancements that they were making. That just weren't really true. It was just like,
Oh, you
She
know
literally
what?
went to jail, I thought.
Yeah, I think that I only know. I think I know what you're talking about, and it's only because they made a movie about it pretty recently.
What?
Yep.
They did?
Yeah, and it stars, and I can't for the life of me remember her name. It stars the dumb blonde girl from Mean Girls. What's her name?
oh,
Oh.
that's cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know her name. But the CEO was Elizabeth Holmes.
Elizabeth Holmes.
Oh, and the company was called Theranos. Oh, man.
Maybe I'm wrong then. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Look up Elizabeth Holmes on the computer, Dane, so you can get a look
Use
at
your
her.
fancy computer to look that up real quick.
Yeah.
So you can like see her.
Oh, in prison now, July
Okay.
11th, 2023.
Oh wow! So recently put in prison.
Elizabeth Holmes dropped out of Stanford at 19 to start blood testing startup Theranos. The technology was praised as revolutionary, and Holmes was hailed as the next Steve Jobs. And then she let it go to her head, and she was like, all right, let's
Yeah.
do some blood testing,
Yeah.
bitches. Theranos' value grew to $9 billion until flaws in the technology were exposed, and Holmes was charged with fraud. After a trial, Holmes was found guilty. Oh my gosh.
How long is she in jail for?
I don't know. I'm trying to find out.
Go down to in the media, you'll find that Amanda Seyfried
Oh, that's what it is.
portrayed her in The Dropout, which I think was either a movie or like a limited series. But I was considering watching that, even though I knew nothing about it. But people were telling me that it's very
It's crazy.
that the story is very crazy and that the movie is very Social Network like, which is Social Network is one of my favorite movies. So I'm usually interested in those kinds of stories.
Nice. Holmes, 39, reported to a federal prison in Bryan, Texas on May 30th to begin serving an 11-year, 3-month
Oh
sentence
my God.
for her role in wire fraud at the now defunct company.
Wire fraud.
Yeah, interesting.
That's like, what about that crypto guy with his like sex cult?
Yeah, his name was like SBK or SDG.
Yeah, he had an abbreviated name.
Yeah.
He's in prison now.
He's in prison too?
Yep.
Damn.
I think he got life or some shit.
Yeah.
I think he did Sam Bankman-Fried, SBF, something like
Here
that.
he was playing League of Legends while like in meetings and stuff.
I believe
And
it.
he was so bad that he was like I think he was like bronze or something. So like bro was like playing League of Legends, ranked League of Legends, bronze.
Listen, you can only be great at one thing at a time.
And he was-
Fraud or League of Legends, right?
Well, he's not good at either because he got caught.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I think he just sucks.
Yeah, he's just a sucky guy.
poor guy.
Or, whatever he was good at, he never pursued it.
Sex
'Cause
cult.
I think that, honestly, I'm very optimistic about people's abilities. I think everybody has like one thing they're good at. It's just about like finding out what it is.
And
Some
his
people
was
don't find out what
running
it is.
A sex cult.
Yeah, well, he had to make
He
do
had a
somehow.
harem.
He had to make do somehow.
And a harem of women.
I got a hot take. It's actually not a hot take. It's just
Oh.
me saying something I like. I
Oh,
love. I love the Planet of the Apes movies.
Which ones? You have to
the
be
new
very
ones?
specific
I
because
like-
they remade a lot of them.
All of them. I like
you
the
just
remakes.
Like the premise of monkeys.
I like the original. I mean, the
shadows.
originals are the best in my opinion.
Do you like the Tim Burton ones? Because those are very contentious.
Oh, Tim Burton ones. Maybe I haven't seen those.
Oh, okay, I think they have Mark Wahlberg or something.
Oh shit. Okay.
What?
Yeah,
Maybe I take that back. I don't think I've seen those ones. I've seen the more modern ones.
the ones with James Franco and stuff.
Yeah. And I've seen the
That
old
was-
ones.
Extremely triggering to me, that movie.
Yeah.
Extremely.
Why is that?
Because it was either right before my dad got diagnosed.
Oh right.
Yeah, his father has Alzheimer's, and I think I was watching it with my dad. He was still like able-minded, but both of his grandparents both of his parents, my grandparents, were suffering with dementia. And when I was watching it, it was the first time that I like realized that like that could happen to my dad, and that was fucking traumatizing as shit.
It was also triggering to me because I was really scared about how like monkeys might take over.
Same. Me too.
What do you?
But
yeah.
nobody was exploring Alzheimer's really in movies, or at least I wasn't really paying attention to it until that movie. And now I feel like it's a lot more common because BoJack Horseman explores Alzheimer's.
Well, yeah, movies are more open, I think, to
Yeah.
touching on those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Before, I think maybe they thought it would bum people out or something.
Yeah.
Now they don't. They're like, yeah, this.
Or
is
it's not relatable enough.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the other. Yeah,
But I guess the point I was trying to make is like I think I would have liked that movie if I didn't.
yeah, if it wasn't like super
Yeah.
distracting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
just like
It's
the
been a lot.
premise.
When was the last time you saw him?
I just saw the last. I don't know. It's been maybe a couple years since I've seen the latest iteration. I just saw the other day, like the trailer for the one that's coming out this year.
Did you see the new movie coming out, the Jordan Peele movie? I'm so fucking excited.
Oh, there's
for
a
it.
trailer for a new Jordan Peele movie.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
check it out.
It's called Monkey Man, and it's got
Wait, you're making this up, right?
No, I'm serious.
Okay.
It's called Monkey Man, and it's got the guy from Lion in it.
Oh, cool.
And he's the main character,
right.
and it's very like action packed, like action forward, but it seems like they're really exploring and having fun with like with it.
Oh, I was watching. We're jumping all over from movie to movie, but I also got. I saw a more like extended trailer for this movie. What was it called? The fucking Roadhouse. Is it the one with
Patrick Swayze.
No.
Roadhouse.
Is it called Roadhouse? With Jake Gyllenhaal. He's being an MMA fighter or whatever
Oh
the
yeah,
name is.
yeah.
It actually looks pretty sick.
Yeah.
It is definitely appealing to my 14-year-old brain because it's like more like action combat-y kind of thing. Badass.
I think you like Monkey Man too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I realized like I think what's the Irish fighter's Conor McGregor is in this movie. And I actually think that this is probably the best thing for Conor McGregor to do is be like a character in movies now and not fight.
No, I
Because
agree.
it seems so much more appropriate for his skill set.
Yeah.
It seems kind of fucked up to say. Like, he's a good fighter and all, but, like, just seeing him in these trailers, I'm like, yeah, he's the fucking...
villain.
Yeah, and he's, like, he's identical to how he's doing it on fucking on stage.
It's not
Like,
even
it's
acting.
perfect. It's not
kind
acting.
of like Michael Cera. It's like, are you ever really acting,
Yeah.
or is that just who you are?
Yeah, so I'm just like, I don't know. I'm kind of excited for it because I think it is going to be
It's like when they got
good.
Die Antwoord to play themselves. You remember
Yes.
that? It's just like, oh, they're just playing themselves in the movie.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they were horrible to work with.
On the set.
And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, well, you
I've
hired
heard-
the fucking characters that you wrote.
Well, I was gonna say you're talking about the musical artist, right? The South African.
Yeah.
So I heard. I don't know what happened with that, but like there was a bunch of stuff that came out about those fuckers.
Yeah, like sex
Yeah.
offender shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
Second
that's what I'm
shit.
getting at. That they're like not good people.
Yeah, and like it's really weird to see. I think the pronunciation is D Antwoord. Antwood.
Beats
D.
me.
Oh, it's South African. I mean,
Yeah.
who knows?
But it's weird to see people forget because a lot of people have been like spamming their music again. It was like maybe 5 years in between, and now people are like, okay, that was enough time.
Well-
Time to listen.
Well, here's the thing. I actually really like their music.
Yeah, no, it's
But
good
I
music.
still, it doesn't make me not want to listen to it that they're horrible.
No, I don't like talking about this because I feel like everybody has a different opinion. But I just mean on TikTok specifically, there is a lot of like once something's decided that it's not good, at least publicly, people will peel back very heavily, right? A good example of that is like Dolls Kill. Dolls Kill during the
Right,
BLM
once
riots.
the idea is out there,
Yeah.
you will be a little bit more
You won't
conscientious
post.
about or conscious.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hive mind of people will be in your comments, and most people are just like not interested in starting that fight.
Sure,
so,
yeah.
So things like Dolls Kill, for example, which by the way, Dolls Kill has started to like pick up again, which I find very interesting. But Antwoord, whatever the fuck, they had the same thing going on where like collectively, like especially on TikTok, they decided not good people, and I've noticed this
Yeah.
year it's kind of worn off. And
Yeah.
people are posting.
Well, people forget. They have very short-term memory when it comes to a lot of that stuff. I mean, a lot of the drama of that is not necessarily like, doesn't stick in people's minds. It's more of like the meme of the day or
Yeah.
meme of the week.
It's just
Especially
super
with a young
interesting.
person's app like TikTok.
Yeah. I just find it interesting what the memory is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it seems to be about like 5 years.
It's pretty short.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you could even give somebody like Kanye West another 3 or 4 years,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, like, we've seen it with a lot of people. Louis C.K.,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
people forget.
Did you guys hear that freaking Barbie got snubbed at the Oscars?
Oh, I was actually going to say, do you guys want to talk about that?
I don't even pay. I don't pay attention to the Oscars, so I have no clue what any of it means.
I think it's a good idea to not pay attention to the Oscars as far as, like, taking them super seriously, but I think it's interesting to pay attention to them because it's a good way of aligning yourself with, like, what the general public thinks about what movie snobs think.
right.
It's also interesting. Like, I think the politics of it is very interesting. You know, it's the
Yeah.
same reason why anybody gets interested in politics, even though it's all bullshit.
Right.
You're still interested in it.
Yeah. Because there was a lot of human psychology involved in, relationships.
I just
Why
mean, like,
things are.
I'm extremely like awards show illiterate in general. As in, like, I don't know how any of these shows work. I don't know what any of it really means. I like am so
It's all very stupid.
yeah.
So
like
that's the main thing.
I know there's like Jubilees, Juno, Oscars, Grammys,
Is that a thing?
maybe.
Well, there's the.
What do you mean maybe? You just said something and then you said maybe. What?
I think it's Canadian. I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I think Junos might be Canadian too.
Yeah. The Junos are Canadian.
okay.
And then there's the Grammys and the Oscars.
And the Tonys. So there's Emmy. I mean,
Emmys.
you know what an EGOT is?
No.
So an EGOT is a special commendation that's given to people who win all four of what is considered the major awards.
What the fuck?
So there's four major awards in my mind, and that is what the EGOT is, and that's Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony.
Okay.
And the Tonys. So you know what all the first three are, right?
No.
Oh.
I know Oscars are movies.
Yeah, Oscars are movies.
Yeah.
Grammys are music.
Okay.
Emmys are TV shows, or it's a little bit more fluid, but it's mostly TV shows.
Okay.
And then Tonys are musicals.
Who's got an EGOT?
Wait.
Who's got an EGOT? I mean, you can look it up.
Oh.
There's a very short list of people who got an EGOT.
Wait. Tonys are
Tonys are musicals, like
musicals. Okay.
Broadway kind of things.
Okay. Okay.
Not movie musicals.
Yeah. Okay.
But do you know what the whole thing is with Barbie?
No,
Anisa?
I need somebody to, because I think it really annoys me that, like, whatever happened, it's like giving people an excuse to, like, jump on, the topic of feminism and just have, like, literally the worst takes ever.
Right, yeah. It opens the door for people with bad takes
Yeah.
to, I don't know, say them.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I haven't.
No matter what the argument is, it's still annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that for
So
sure.
that's all I know. But I don't. Ian, do you know what happened?
Yeah, I mean, didn't
Dane.
Ryan Gosling got a nomination and won
Okay.
as best supporting, or wait, not supporting, best lead male actor, some meme like that.
At the Golden Globes, which are like a second-rate Oscars.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So the Oscars actually haven't happened yet. They've just announced the nominations.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, you tell us, because I don't know anything.
Oh, okay. I thought that you were going to explain it. which is
No,
why you
I
brought
just
it up.
remember recently, or I just saw recently that was a discussion that was being had. Was, I guess, Barbie, the director, and Margot Robbie not being.
Neither of
winning.
them. Yeah, neither of them got nominated for their respective Oscars, which is Best Director and Best Actress.
Gotcha.
That's surprising a little bit. I'm gonna knock on.
I don't think it's surprising at all, which is, I think, the side of the lane that I am on, which is that Margot Robbie, her performance in that movie wasn't necessarily Oscar worthy.
No, I agree with that. I think maybe it was the.
Oh wait, they weren't nominated for Oscars, even though the Oscars haven't happened yet.
Yeah, because you have to be
Yeah.
nominated first.
Okay.
They announced the nominations
Right.
like way
I'm
before
sorry.
the actual ceremony.
Okay, I thought this shit already happened.
No.
Okay.
It's going to happen, I think, in like a couple weeks or something.
Okay.
I think Best Director is what I'm shocked by, not Margot Robbie.
I mean, I haven't seen all of the movies in the category, so I can't speak on this myself. But I'm going to say that I'm shocked because it's a like kind of like a clear political decision to make, and I'm shocked that they didn't do it because they usually make those kinds of political decisions.
Right.
I'm not shocked that she's not nominated because I like Greta Gerwig's movies, and Barbie didn't seem like she put a lot of her voice into that movie at all. I think that
Interesting.
it was more in the writing, and maybe she got a writing nomination. I'm not really sure, but I personally just don't think that she directed the shit out of the movie or anything. I mean, I don't know. I will admit that I was like not really that impressed with Barbie compared to a lot of people probably.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting. I hate talking about Barbie. Because,
Yeah. I get why.
yeah,
I think it's an important movie for people who don't know what feminism is.
I think that
And that's a lot of people, maybe.
Yeah, this is like a hard conversation for me to have because
I understand why.
I think a lot of people. I'm trying to figure out how to word this. I have a lot of thoughts about Barbie, but I keep them to myself.
Well, yeah, maybe we can keep it for a different time. Because
Yeah.
if it seems like it's going to be a long conversation. We're kind of coming to the end of the podcast. What do you
Yeah,
think,
I
Ian?
think a lot of people are focused on the wrong things. It's like hard for me to even say. You know how like there's like some horror movies that you watch that like the point of it is that it's like fucking so in your face, stupid. Does that make sense?
Oh, like a horror comedy or something?
Sort of like the only example I can think of is the alligator movie that we watched where like the alligators are in the water and they're just like fucking killing people and it's just like it's meant to be a bit hokey to serve a greater purpose to like make another comment. And I think people look at it flat and they're not looking at it past the
Right. The hokey nature,
of it.
Right.
And I think that they're not giving, and maybe this could be total cope, and I'm aware of that. Cope in the same way that like people who like talked about when there was something maybe that they didn't agree with what you used to do, they'd be like, oh, he was,
Right.
you know, it was a master plan, and what he was actually meaning to say is this. And so I don't like to like talk about it because I understand that art is like kind of whatever you want to make of it, but I feel like the on the nose nature of it was done with intention.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it wasn't where the conversation ended, and I think a lot of people look at it and think that's where the conversation ended.
Yeah.
That's like the best way for me to put it. But I really liked the parallels with the Matrix that was in that movie. I liked the references in the movie. I liked that it was so important for them to have a conversation between like a moment between Barbie and that old woman. There were a lot of things that like were very important to me personally, and I feel like maybe I have an aggressive sentimental attachment to even the like getting all the coworkers to hand in video clips for the montage of like a woman living life. Like that made me emotional. I didn't even know that those were actual clips from women that
Right.
worked on the movie. There's like a lot of things that are like not even having a conversation about and I really do think that it was meant to be hokey to serve a bigger point.
Like I feel a bit to your point. I actually think that a lot more people would marvel at the movie and be really interested in the movie if they did one of these the making of Barbie, because I do think that there's a lot of context and stories to be told around the making of, which would kind of fill in the blank for a lot of people who maybe don't think that there is much depth to it, and they think it is too hokey or whatever the descriptor might be. I think we might be harping on that word, but yeah, I don't know what the outright criticisms would be. All I've heard from like the public criticisms is shit from like Ben Shapiro
Yeah.
and stuff. And like, I don't know, he's like, his take on it was just like, I don't know, pretty
uncharitable.
like, yeah, I'm just like pretty, I don't know, blah. Like,
Yeah.
he just thought it was basic, I
Yeah.
guess, or something. I don't know.
I just felt like there was a lot of passion in the movie being made. So I guess I shouldn't say that I'm surprised that she wasn't nominated because, like you said, like I don't know all the movies that have come out this year, and I don't, to be honest, I don't really care that much. But it was just a little bit surprising because it had so much attention and so many people had something to say about it. And I think I'm one of those people that, like, when you are making art and you make something that is that, like, disgust, that polarizing, that, like,
Yeah, that's a good argument
like,
for it,
I
for
think
sure.
that you, it's surprising when you're not nominated for something because that's the whole point of art.
I will say, I think
conversation.
from, I guess, whoever's making these nominations, the Academy, the Oscar Academy,
Yeah, there's like a group of people that are like unnamed.
the elites.
Yeah, the elites. The Academy is what they're referred to, though.
Right. I would assume, just based on nothing really, that basically, no matter how good a filmmaker you are, if you accept the role of directing or putting together the Barbie movie, they're basically going to say, nah, that's all right. Like, no thanks. Because it just feels to me like, I mean, I could be wrong on this. I don't know what, like, heavily branded, like, franchises or shit like that have been nominated for Oscars in the past. But to me, it's probably just more like it's not the right vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like-
I don't know, Dane, how many has there been, like, branded, heavily branded things nominated in the Oscars often?
I don't think so. I can't really think of any off the top of my head, and I don't think that that's necessarily like a big
Deciding factor.
deciding factor. Really, I think it's mostly just down to how they feel about it, maybe. But then again, a big reason why the Oscars is such a joke to a lot of people is because they're just infamously bad at picking things, and maybe maybe Barbie not getting nominated for Best Director is a bad pick. I think that like that one actually makes a lot of sense why people are even like debating that because it is debatable. I think it is debatable. The Margot Robbie one is the one that people really have focused on, though.
That's interesting.
And that one, I feel like that one, I actually feel like I have a little bit more strong like pushback against people who think that she should have been nominated because I think that it's very likely that everyone else in that category did a better job than her.
Yeah, I think when you compare Margot Robbie's, like, career to Barbie, I think she's definitely had better performances.
For sure. I mean, she's been nominated for Best Actor
It also
and
just
for other
feels-
roles.
It also just feels kind of like you've. It's just kind of stupid to me because you've like essentially signed up for that. Like how good, how much better could the role of Barbie be for this specific movie? Like
Yeah.
how much more?
No, I
could
agree.
you have improved
There
it?
was a glass ceiling for her
Right.
performance, period, which
Oh,
is
and
also why...
I feel like it's the same for the Greta Gerwig in just choosing to take on the movie that is Barbie.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like either you can do one of the biggest movies of the year, or you can do a movie that's nominated for the Oscars.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that, I mean, to me, like, it's not a hill that I would die on either way. Like,
Yeah, I don't think it's a hill any of us would die on.
but there are people who are dying on it, and I
think they're dying on what they think it represents. They
Yeah.
think it represents like notoriety or whatever, but it's like, I mean, everyone has always said that the Oscars won don't mean shit anymore. And one would even say that they haven't mean shit for a long time. And two, I think it's very weird how a lot of the discussion around the movie when it came out before nominations were even released was that Ryan Gosling stole the show, that he was like one of the best parts of that movie, that he was the stand-up performance. And so he got nominated in his category
yeah.
and she didn't. I think it's very telling, that people are suddenly upset what their intention in that emotion is. They're just upset that the man got something and the woman didn't.
It's interesting because the way that movie was written, I feel like that was kind of the point, right?
Right. And
So-
that's the
So
argument.
many, yeah, you have so many opportunities as Ken to make that shit like
Yeah. Like it was written
stand
that
out.
way.
Yeah.
And it was written that way because that's the only
That's-
way
that
people
is
could
the whole point.
understand.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. They were
Like,
trying to bridge the gap.
Go through the list of like actresses who would be playing Barbie instead of Margot Robbie and how much like better or worse it would be.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be that much better or worse. It would be about the same. And think of the variety of male actors who could transform the Ken role into something like unique and crazy.
Yeah, it was
and
just the
different.
way it was written.
Yeah. A lot more room.
Yeah, I don't know. The gender stuff, the feminism conversations, I think it's good that the door has been opened up and people are talking about it, but it is very exhausting to see some of the things that are being said and the just the direction that some people are taking it. It feels like it's very counter to what we need.
Yeah.
So it's
the
like,
point.
yeah, it's hard. Some people I've seen like their tweets and stuff or whatever, and I'm like, man, I need to take a break.
Everybody's got to have an opinion
Yeah, but I
on
mean,
the new thing to talk about.
I got a popping stress
Thanks.
Thanos. You can squeeze that. But yeah, I think that's a fine way to wrap up today's episode. Sorry, Margot. Sorry.
sorry,
I'm
Margaret.
sure she'll get nominated again.
Yeah.
She's a very, very good actress.
she's a
Yes.
great actress.
And Greta is going to do some amazing things as well, I
love
reckon.
Lady Bird so much. Who gives a shit? It's special to if it's special to you, it's special to you.
Yeah, exactly.
If the Oscars doesn't nominate it, it doesn't make it any less special.
That's the main thing that I'm concerned with. It's like why are you letting the Oscars decide what you think is good?
Yes.
Who
Also,
cares?
just create your own fucking Oscars. Just
Yeah.
make your own Oscars.
Yeah.
Anyone can do it. Everyone has that. Not everyone. Many people have access. If you have access to Twitter, you have access to YouTube.
There's a
All
great
right.
app that I highly recommend if you really care about like ranking movies. It's called Letterboxd, and it's designed specifically for this purpose. Just go and make your own Oscars. Make your list that says my Oscars.
My Oscars.
And you can put Barbie at the top.
Yeah, easy. And,
they
you
win-
can do
and
it
they
every
win.
year.
Yeah.
And you can talk about it and all your reasoning behind your list on YouTube. Easy.
And just if you're a viewer and you felt like Barbie should have won at the Oscars, I'm your Oscars now. Barbie won all the Oscars.
Well, it could win. It's nominated for Best Picture, I'm pretty sure. So,
good enough.
There you go.
I'd be happy. Like if I made a legit movie,
let me look that up first.
if I made a legit movie and they were like, "Oh yeah, it looks like you weren't nominated for Best Actor or Best Director, but your movie was nominated for Best Picture," I'd be like, "Fucking cool." I was just,
Okay, it is.
I would have hoped Best Sound Design or something. You know?
Barbie's nominated, all right, for Best Picture, so it could also win Best Picture. I don't think it will, but it is still nominated.
Also, remember, Mattel
Titans.
is evil. Mattel is evil. Fuck Mattel.
Yeah, they made
okay?
that movie. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. And
Mattel's literally laying off the Wizards of the Coast, doing great. They made record money this year. They're laying off a bunch of people. They're fucking evil. Okay, so
Wait. Are we for the Barbie movie winning the
I'm
Best
just
Picture?
saying,
Are we?
I think I'm a little against it just because Mattel's attached to
You
it.
just had the Mattel thought. It's like, wait a minute.
No, but I'm just saying, like you have to also remember that like Mattel had their fingers all over everything, and like that does restrict,
The art.
at least a little bit, and they have some bad karma. So maybe they rubbed off on Greta or something. You know, maybe the CEO rubbed his bad karma juice on her or something. So, anyways,
Yeah, that's valid.
fuck you, Mattel.
all I know is when I saw that movie, I came away thinking, man, I really want to buy a Chevy.
Oh, I was thinking that's interesting. I was thinking, man, I really need a Will Ferrell in my life.
I was making a joke.
Oh, well, I was being serious. I really
I
wanted
know you're
a
being serious, yeah.
Will Ferrell in my life.
All right.
If all CEOs were Will Ferrells, the world
Favol?
Will Ferrell?
would be the world would be a
I
better
love Will
place.
Ferrell. I love Will Ferrell.
Literally.
He was just a goofy, evil guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he was cute.
See, but they cutified the CEO.
Right, right. Yeah. Fuck
just
that.
saying.
That's how Wood do that.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for watching. This episode, was it 16?
I don't know.
Probably.
15.
Forget it.
It's in the
I'm
late-
not going to say it.
it's in
'cause
the middle
up there.
teens somewhere.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. More changes are coming. We're soon going to have our first guest on the podcast, and then
Yes.
we'll just keep on chuggling on.
Juggling.
We'll have games. We'll have prizes.
We're
We'll
making
have-
our own group of people called Chuggalos. We only chug Diet Sprite, and we face paint, but not like clowns, like cats.
Okay.
Chuggalos. Look it up.
Yo, what up? Later, Chuggalos. Hasta la vista, Chuggalos.